can this run on this? At first, it seems impossible because this PC only has 120 megahertz and the minimum requirements at the back of the box say 233. So it's almost twice the amount of megahertz. That is until I saw this video, and that got me thinking and like, hang on a second. This is not what my box says. So I googled around and turns out the minimum requirement is 133 megahertz. So yeah, it's a typo. They even repeated it in the manual because here it says minimum 233, but then suddenly recommended 166. So yeah, great quality control by Sierra in 2001 when they printed that box. And what other game has 133 as the minimum and 166 as the recommended? Pharaoh. And it sort of runs. So, before moving on, let's check what our specs are and how they compare to the minimum requirements. Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's put this in the PC and see what happens. So far so good. Is that an alarm that the PC is too weak to burn this, or? It's trying. Okay. Yeah, I read the terms and conditions. Okay, and it didn't even ask for the CD key. At least now, for now. So while we wait, let's have a cup of tea. Approximate time remaining 20 minutes, so we'll be here for a while, but through the magic of editing, you don't have to wait. And we are back. Surprise, our version of DirectX is much more recent than Half-Life. That's, of course. So let's see. It has for the internet connection. Well, I don't have one, so let's just what a 56k modem. Fine. And there we go. Didn't even ask for a reboot. So, might as well give it a shot. Oh, now it wants the CD key. Usually every game asks for that during the setup, but no, this one asks only during the first startup. Okay, fine. Okay, time to give it a shot. And also I enabled the console, so we can actually get the frame rate counter going on, so we can see how many digits we are getting on the frame rate counter. Probably not many. Anyway, first things first, let's see that our video is set up properly. Yeah, we need direct 3D because that's our display controller, and we're going to need every single bit of help we can. And you cannot access the console in the menu. So we have to wait until we get into the game. and that might take a while. It's trying its best. Can it run? Okay. Let's put the FPS counter on the screen. Solid 4 FPS. That's one more than I was expecting.
Welcome to the Black Media Hazard course, where you will be trained in the use of the hazardous environment
The audio doesn't like
operating your
it.
holographic assistant. Let's begin by stepping onto your stage. You can see it suspended up ahead of you. Do you see one of these buttons? You press it, and I will appear to demonstrate.
Okay, jump test. Even Gina is a bit messed up. Okay. So here, I'm staring at this wall. Nothing is happening on the screen. We're getting double digits. It's jumping between 20, 11 and sometimes even 12 FPS. Impressive. It's doubling its FPS when I'm not doing anything. Or almost nothing is on the screen. Okay, ladders at 4 FPS. Miraculously enough, we didn't fall off.
Jump, get time, but they are time, what they are quite hot. You can go, you be in it, go, in beings, run, do well.
I cannot make out anything about the instructions because the speech is messed up.
Keep trying, keep going,
We might have fun on Nemesis. Also nice transparency into ladder. I think we've seen enough by this point. Okay.
Great work. Now there's one more style of jumping you need to learn. Jumping requires the charging module to activate your local jump down and move forward, and then launch and then launch into the jump. Once you're off on the circle, press the button, press the button, and drop the mode, straight mode.
Yeah, I think this might be it. Try having precise control at 4 FPS. Because this sucks even in normal gameplay. And at 4 FPS, yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Nice job.
Oh, it will.
you are out here, there's only one way down. Find the target on the floor below and do your best to hit it. If you take any damage from the fall, we will administer medical care at the next station.
Right, stare at the corner to get double digits. Very cool. I think we found our ending point. I can't pull this box. I'm holding E, moving backwards, and it doesn't do anything. I can push it just fine, but I can't pull it. Yep, that's the end of the hazard course for us. Oh. Okay. So for whatever reason I can't pull it straight, I have to pull it diagonally. Past it. No. There we go. Time for some action. Oh, yeah, do you? Gordon isn't even swinging the crowbar. He's just breaking the boxes with his mind. Just for fun, let's try software mode before we enter the shooting range. Right. Media mode and software. Can it run at all? Because it's now completely relying on the CPU itself. So we get 4 FPS on average with the 3D controller. And it's struggling. Hey. Is it actually? It's running better. It's 6 FPS now. Solid 10 if I stare at the corner. It's getting... This is much more stable now. So actually the 3D accelerator was doing a worse job. Just the CPU itself.
To the Black Mesa target range, where you will receive training in firing a weapon, reloading, and firing the attached grenade launcher. Please pick up your weapon and advance to the firing station. Commencing sequence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There it is. High-speed action.
Congratulations. You have completed the target range. Advance to the next area.
Also, switching to software mode, fixing transparency issues on the ladders. So I guess direct 3D isn't as good as it should be. Or it could just be because the card isn't that good. I mean, it's from the same era as Half-Life, but anyway. Well, I managed to complete the hazard course at 46 FPS, and turns out it was better in software mode, because in direct 3D mode everything was dark, transparencies didn't work properly, FPS was 4 according to the counter, but I think sometimes it was below 1. But in software mode it reached 6, but I don't think there's any reason to even try the main game, because during the shooting range you could see how laggy it was. Like, there's just no way you can actually fight enemies at 6 FPS, and I presume when there's actually stuff on the screen like enemies and NPCs and objects moving around, it's just going to be even worse. So, to answer the question, can you play Half-Life under the minimum system requirements? You can play the hazard course. Just about. If you're really desperate, you can play it. But, yeah. Actually, let me just cut away at this point. I'll try to play the section that has some actual action in it, and we'll see how bad it is. Just for research purposes. I had initially thought that I would also do stuff like remove some RAM from the computer, because I have other RAM sticks I could use. I could turn this down to 32 megabytes, which is the minimum. I could put it even below that, but honestly, if it's already struggling at 46 FPS, there's no point in even trying. I think it would just crash. So yeah, one last cut, and I'll play, or I'll probably just use the console to teleport myself to a map that has actual enemies in it, and we'll see how it goes. So here we are in surface tension. So there's a lot of enemies here, a lot of stuff going on. We're already at 4 FPS only, even though it's not showing any actual action. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I think the frame counter doesn't go below 4 FPS, but somehow survived. But yeah, you cannot play at this level. It's just completely impossible. It's a cool slideshow. That's about it. Yeah, just try to shoot down the helicopter. Please FPS. Oh, yep. I think that concludes our test for today. So, of course, this was a more recent version of the game from 2001. So it didn't allow me to go to a very low resolution, like 320 by 240. The minimum is 400 by 300. But honestly, I don't think it would matter. It would be like 1 or 2 FPS, or maybe. Yeah. I mean, if you enjoy action slideshows, sure, let's go with that. But I really don't think that you should play this, even on the minimum recommended setting, which is 166 megahertz. I mean, maybe it will be at around 10 to 12 FPS, and maybe you can just about play it, but yeah. Enough talk. That was this experience, and goodbye. Well, just hold on a minute, because I forgot something. Screen size settings. I was playing in full screen, but of course playing based on its software engine. We have screen size settings. We can shrink down the area that it's being displayed to get better performance. And there's also a tick box for draw faster software sprites. So the screen size turned almost all the way down, and with faster software sprites enabled. Let's see how it performs now, and we'll go straight to surface tension. We are not going to retry hazard cross because that's not a real test anyway. Well, it's not looking promising. It's 6 FPS. And it immediately drops the fall when something is happening. This is also another glitch. Keeps going in and out of the menu for whatever reason. So let's do one more thing. No, not that one. Turn the screen size all the way down so it's the size of a postmark. Now let's see what happens. It's thinking. It sure is thinking. So I think we can conclude that no, you should definitely not play this game at 120 megahertz. reaching the lofty heights of 7 FPS. If nothing is on the screen. And we're, yep, 7. Which is basically saying that it was even when the game was in full screen, so it doesn't seem to matter in this case. But anyway, that's really it. There's nothing more to do because there's no point in like change the memory or taking out the 3D card and just using the onboard S330 chipset, which is a fine 2D chipset, but obviously doesn't do 3D well. But yeah, no point. It has reached 8 FPS now, and there's just one soldier guy there standing. What? I think that's like 6 centimeters. So yeah, at this point, just get a new PC. Well, nowadays, of course, you can play this on anything, but in the late 90s, if your PC wasn't that new, you couldn't play Half-Life. You could try, but it would be like this. But goodbye for now. See you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, YouTube chunk. That's it. See you in the next one.